Ventura Tower, this is Cessna 234. I am requesting a frequency change to 0800. Repeat, requesting frequency change to 0800.
Cessna 234, your frequency change is approved. Have a good night.
Coffee?
What? Black, 2 sugars. Hot.
Black it'll be, like tar. Lukewarm if you're lucky.
Hey, forget the coffee. Check my screen.
Santa Barbara approach, this is Ventura Tower. We have a 747 coming in low and slow. Did you send a heavy our way? We may have a problem. Better clear the airspace.
All aircraft in Ventura pattern exit immediately. All aircraft in Ventura pattern exit now. Unidentified 747 on final for Ventura. Please state your intentions. Unidentified 747. You are not cleared to land at Ventura. Our runway is too short for you. Do you copy? Unidentified 747. Please state your intentions now.
Talk to us.
Unidentified 747. Please state your...
You're gonna be fine, Mr. McGregor. We're gonna treat you and all your friends for dehydration, then we'll hopefully find something to calm your stomachs, all right?
What's with all the Rob Roys?
Some kind of clan dinner. Apparently the main course was a bad haggis. Haggis, you know, liver, lungs, tongue, minced with a suet, all boiled to perfection in a sheep's stomach.
Oh, I was on my way to get some breakfast. Not anymore.
Breakfast.
Your victim was severely berated? Huh? Oh, beaten. He was severely beaten, I see.
I thought you were going to get some new glasses.
Yeah, I am, Friday. Trifocals, you know, one utilitarian pair for all reasons, reading, computer, driving, everything.
Mark, we've got a problem. I just spoke to the NTSB. The 747 went down near Ventura.
Oh, any survivors?
No. It's our turn, Mark. We're on the go team.
Well, bring the car around front.
Okay, I'll call Colin and see if he can watch CJ for a few days.
Good.
See you.
You ready for this, Dad?
Well, we've been on the NTSB rotation for over a year now. We've had a lot of training, little experience.
Pancake Piper got a broken arm. It's nothing like what you're going to be dealing with today.
Well, I did sign on as survival factor expert.
You heard what Amanda said. There were no survivors.
Well, what we have to do is figure out how and why the people died, and if it could have been prevented. To tell you the truth, I'm not looking forward to this.
If you need me, call.
Okay, thanks.
Dr. Bentley, Dr. Sloan, let me introduce you to the rest of the team. This is Bob Burns, Air Traffic Control, Frank Dangler, Human Performance, Jan French, Weather Factors, Phil Kinsley, Structural Systems, and Alex Vale, Power Plants. Now, Dr. Bentley is our medical examiner. Dr. Sloan will be covering survival factors, and he's also our local team coordinator, or LTC. So, if you can't find me, you go to him, all right?
And there's Mark Sloan and Amanda Bentley.
Well, They're bathing the spill fires in foam, so we'll be able to go in soon. Now, you all know the drill, right? Every victim is to be tagged and flagged.
Guthrie,
Yo.
Ted Sherman, Pac Atlantic Flight Ops. When can I get my people in here?
When I say so, right now I don't want you or your people anywhere near this investigation.
Pac Atlantic has every right to be involved. You know, we need to know what brought down that plane just as much as you do.
Mr. Sherman, I'm very busy here right now.
Mr. Sherman, may I have a word? Look, I understand your need to be involved in this, but right now we can't have it look as if an airline official is conducting the investigation.
You don't understand. I knew people on that plane, right? The pilots, the attendants. This whole thing is just...
I know. It's overwhelming. But you and I were both trained together to deal with this.
Yeah, well, training for it and living it are two different things.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Sherman. Look, you know what we need.
Yeah, the passenger lists and the seating assignments, the repair records, the logs, the cruise personnel records.
Oh, and the cargo manifest also. And anything else you find that looks like it might be some help to us. You know, I think the most important thing for you to do right now is go talk to the families of the victims. Answer the questions best you can and try and give them some comfort.
Look, I can handle this other stuff just fine, but I won't know what to say to those people.
Yes, you will. Because you know exactly how they're feeling.
You with the ME's office?
And you are?
Ron Wagner, FBI liaison. I want priority one to be identifying the bodies. Don't just stare at me. Get started now.
Excuse me, but I wasn't aware that this was a criminal investigation.
It's not.
Until there's evidence of criminal activity, this investigation belongs to the NTSB.
The NTSB. You guys have got, what, 80 people scattered around the country? I could bring twice that many experts in before noon.
And they'd be doing exactly what we're doing, following exactly the same procedures.
Look, Wagner, you want to give us a hand here? Keep the news crews out of here so they won't trample the crash site.
I'll get the sheriff's department to handle it.
Good man.
What's your name?
Bentley. Dr. Amanda Bentley.
I remember that.
Was that supposed to scare me?
Spill fire's out and we can go in. Better put these on.
I thought I'd be prepared for this.
I don't think anything could have prepared us for this.
Let's get to work.
Well, we've completed the four-corner search, Mark. And every part of the plane has been accounted for except the aft cargo door.
If that door came off in flight, massive decompression could have brought the plane down.
Yeah, it's possible. Only according to our eyewitnesses, the plane came in low and slow. It was almost as if the pilot were guiding it in.
Without responding to the tower's radio call. Something very serious must have been happening on that plane.
I would say probably more than one something. We're probably looking at a series of events. A cascade that began with mechanical failure, pilot error, even a bomb.
Or a fire. Most of the stuff was blown clear of the crash site, but it's covered with soot. Could something flammable have been on the plane?
A foreign operator flying out of Prague, anything is possible. Guthrie here. All right, I'll send a team right away. Air Surveys just found that door 30 miles from here, along with another little surprise.
Looks like he fell from quite a height.
Along with all this other stuff from that cargo hold. What was this man doing in the hold?
And what was he doing wearing handcuffs?
There is still no word on the cause of the crash of Flight 224. However, according to their spokesperson, the National Transportation Safety Board's investigation is far from over. Meanwhile, the bodies of the 300 passengers and crew are being transported to Community General Hospital for identification, a task which will likely be difficult and time-consuming, according to Assistant Medical Examiner Dr. Amanda Bentley. The airline still has no official word about those who were on board. There were no survivors. According to the...
Excuse me.
Do you see all the work I have to do? I really don't have time for this. I did not look at those faxes from Prague because they're not here.
You put them in the outbox 10 minutes ago.
If I put them in the outbox 10 minutes ago, then I would remember. I'm sorry.
I'll go help the orderlies.
Hey, Amanda. Thought I'd come down here and help out.
You may not like it down here.
Well, I'd like it a lot less if I saw you go through this alone.
In that case, you are hired.
Hey, look at that. I get a merit badge, huh?
Radiation badge. That's to make sure you're not overexposed to X-rays. Anyone working in radiology gets one.
I thought I just signed up for pathology.
You did. But the best way to identify the victims is through their dental records. Getting good fingerprints at this point is going to be tough.
Burned off.
Or missing. And your main task will be to take these bodies down to radiology and try to match them up with their dental X-rays, also with the records that their family send us.
Okay, sounds easy enough.
Yeah, but some of these people have never seen a dentist before. Some of them are from overseas. I mean, that information is going to be very tough to get.
Did they send you a passenger list yet?
Yeah, but that doesn't include the no-shows, the standbys. We're still waiting for Pac Atlantic to figure that one out.
Okay, then we do our best until they do.
All right.
Okay.
I'm glad you're here.
The body you found in that field. I want to see it.
Don't you ever do anything politely?
Not when I'm in a hurry.
Well, then by all means, be my guest.
Who's that?
The FBI's gift to mankind.
Yeah? Well, I hope they have a return policy.
You know that guy? Lieutenant Sloan, LAPD homicide. You recognize this
I'm Ron
body?
Wagner, FBI. This is my investigation.
Well, that man fell into my jurisdiction.
Out of an international flight.
Which means the FBI, which is domestic, shouldn't be involved.
You want to get into jurisdictional nitpicking? I'd be happy to oblige.
I'm sure you would, Agent Wagner. No doubt nitpicking was one of your better subjects at Quantico.
Why don't we take this discussion outside? People are trying to work in here. Don't you know they teach nitpicking at Quantico? I don't mean to jump jurisdictions.
Good call.
Maybe we can help each other if we just share information.
Yeah, maybe.
Hi. Something wrong?
Ask Agent Wagner here.
And you are?
Well, I'm Dr. Mark Sloan. I'm local team coordinator.
A civilian.
Who brought in that body you're so curious about?
You know who that is?
Victor Pavle. He's seriously connected to the Russian mob.
You know, he had a half a pair of handcuffs on him when we found him.
Pavle was in custody?
4 days ago, Interpol cornered him in a club in St. Petersburg. My partner, Mike Keegan, went over to escort him back to the United States.
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't know your partner was on that plane.
So you think this Pavle character was trying to escape, but something went wrong and the plane went down instead?
This isn't Mike's fault.
I'm not saying it is.
You know, the fact remains those cuffs were clipped, apparently with bolt cutters, which is hardly standard equipment on an airline.
Which means Pavle had to have help, either before or during the escape.
You know, it was a good idea you two had about maybe working together on this thing.
I know some guys in the department who work the local Russian mob. Maybe they can give us a lead.
I'll call my people at Interpol, see what they can turn up on their end.
So, joint jurisdiction on this?
For the moment. Take what you can get, Sloan.
Yeah, better put one of these on.
Okay, thank you. Wow, this looks like a three-dimensional jigsaw puzzle.
Well, fortunately, we won't have to reconstruct the entire plane.
Why not?
Well, after Dr. Sloan found the soot on the last row of seats and we located the missing hatch, we knew to focus on the aft cargo area.
So there definitely was a fire on board.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, look at this. I got a county arson investigator to check for thermal damage and fire propagation patterns, and he traced them back to the flash point here. And it looks like from there it moved into the rear of the plane pretty quickly. There was a burn through past the floor of the aft coach section. And the passengers and the crew, you know, they probably suffered smoke inhalation even before the crash.
Oh, they did, and that's what I came to tell you. Every victim that I examined had soot in their tracheas.
Yeah, I figured they might have.
It happened so fast. Are you sure it wasn't a bomb?
No, we would have found pitting in the airframe.
What about mechanical failure?
No, nothing turned up. I mean, hydraulics, avionics, structural, and I doubt if anything will. You know, we haven't gotten any airworthiness directives on this plane to indicate a mechanical problem.
Well, maybe the black boxes will help.
No. And the ones we've recovered are obsolete, less than 12 parameters. There'll be no record of what happened in the hold.
Well, so your guess would be that the smoke from the fire overwhelmed the crew, they lost control of the craft, and that caused the accident?
Only I'm not so sure it was just smoke. You know, you should check the victims for blood CO2 and cyanide levels.
Cyanide?
The interior of this plane is mostly plastic, Doctor, and when this stuff burns...
Oh, my God.
Oh, and I need one more thing. Ted Sherman has set up a meeting with the victims' families. I'd really like for you to be there.
I'm afraid I'm not very good at press conferences.
No press, please. I mean, they just upset these people more than they already are. I only wish we had more answers for them. Ladies and gentlemen, we've only just begun our investigation, and regrettably, the truth of these matters often reveals itself according to its own timetable, so... But whenever we do know something, you will know it. You deserve our honesty. And I promise that that's exactly what you'll get. Dr. Bentley?
Many of you have already spoken to one of our physicians or counselors. But we ask that you please continue to feel free to call upon them, because they will be available to you for as long as you need them.
I think what we all want most is to know when we can get our... My husband, Louis Trent, was on that flight. I'd like to take him home.
We're working as fast as we can, Mrs. Trent. It simply takes time. Mr. Guthrie has promised you all the truth. And the truth is that we will work through this as quickly as possible.
Pac Atlantic has made arrangements at the Star 5 Hotel to provide you with rooms and meals and whatever other services you may require until the NTSB has completed its work and your loved ones are returned to you. If you want to come with me, we have buses waiting to take you there.
I'll get on those toxicology reports.
Thank you.
Dr. Bentley.
Listen, if you want any more of the victims' IDs, you'll have to speak to my staff. I'm terribly busy.
I know how hard it is talking to these people.
You've had a lot of experience?
More than I ever wanted. Oklahoma City, Montana, the Republic of Texas mess. They never get used to it. Their emotions trip you up every time.
Why do you act like you don't care?
Emotions and jobs aren't a very good mix. You pay too much attention to one, you don't do the other one very well.
So this is about maintaining efficiency, huh?
Equilibrium. You lose that, you can't help anybody.
Hey, you two are actually speaking to each other, huh?
Well, I couldn't help myself. You see, he's a better nitpicker than I am.
Well, good, because I need you to see this. Well, he's pretty badly burned, but he had on half a pair of handcuffs, and so I figured it was your partner even before I checked the dental records.
Sorry.
We took this out of him. It's a bullet.
Bullet?
Yeah, here.
This is from a .38. Mike used a 9mm and a .32 backup.
Which means someone must have smuggled a gun on board for Pavle as well as a pair of bolt cutters.
What the hell happened up there? Why stall? We tell the press the FBI is taking over.
Not yet.
Look, this is a criminal matter, and we both know it. There was gunfire in the hold, Keegan got shot, Pavle tried to escape and got himself killed.
And I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's not my call. It's up to our bosses in Washington. And until they make the decision, I'm still in charge.
Well, you know, I wouldn't be in such a hurry to dismiss the NTSB anyway. Bringing a whole new team of investigators up to speed is going to waste a lot of valuable time.
And can you really say that my people are doing such a lousy job?
No, you guys do good work, but my guys will do better.
Inspector Guthrie, isn't it true there was some kind of gun battle on Flight 224?
You know, as I said at the outset, this investigation has really just begun, and until it's completed, I'm not going to have
We
any
learned there was a federal agent escorting a prisoner on the plane. Wasn't this agent shot and killed in the course of the flight?
And didn't his prisoner fire the fatal shot as part of some terrorist suicide mission?
This press conference is at an end. Thank you all very much.
Wait, please. The others have asked me to speak for all of us. We'd like to make a request.
You have our complete attention.
Well, we want to place a memorial wreath at the crash site.
Pac Atlantic has no problem with that. We'd be glad to provide assistance, transportation, whatever you folks need.
The crash site's been secured. I don't see how the investigation could be compromised. But what, this afternoon, all right? How about this afternoon?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, Dad.
You should take a look at this.
Doggone, would you read that for me? I can't.
Yeah, well, we just finished the final body count of the plane, and get this, 2 passengers are definitely missing.
Did you check the manifest?
Checked and triple-checked. I even talked to the reps at Pac Atlantic, who loaded the plane in Prague, but no matter how you add it up...
2 passengers who were supposed to be on that plane are unaccounted for. Did you tell Guthrie?
He's sending out search teams all along the plane's route, starting from where they found Victor Pavle.
I have a feeling those search teams are going to come up empty-handed. Still, it's a good idea to do a background check on the 2 missing ones. Maybe we'll get some answers.
Right.
Once you've got a good idea. But there's still a good chance those passengers went missing because some bureaucrat erased the wrong file, which is why you're going to do the IDs all over again.
I'll have to clear it with Dr. Bentley first.
Don't bother. I'll talk to her.
Just in time, Agent Wagner. Why don't you just come in and enjoy the show?
There's damn little I'm enjoying about any of this.
Yeah, I got the toxicology reports back on the crash victim. And the CO2 and the cyanide levels in their blood were way above the lethal limit. So that would mean that for about 3 or 4 minutes, while that fire was spreading that cyanide gas throughout the plane, those poor people were... I'm sorry. I know I should be more professional about this, but...
I spent my first 7 years at the Bureau, behind a desk, shuffling surveillance reports. And then I finally got my first field assignment. Oklahoma City. I was with the team that went through the daycare center. My first hour on the job, I lost it. Twice. Third time I would have been out of there. Then this other agent gave me a hand. It was Mike Keegan. I met him that day. He took me aside and he talked to me. Then I pulled myself back together and went to work. And the funny thing is, I can't really remember what it was he said to me. If I could, I'd say it to you now.
I think you just did. Thanks. Thank you.
What is it, Sloan?
Just this. My sources tell me that Victor Pavle's partner in crime is one Serge Ostrowski.
I know that. The Bureau knows that. The CIA and Interpol know it. Now you know it, too.
But do any of you guys know that he's holed up in a loft downtown? Our backup should be here in 5 minutes.
We can't wait that long. You take the back, I'll take the front.
Wagner!
Freeze, FBI. I said freeze!
Fight's over. Drop the knife.
Good timing.
Should see me on a good day.
Talk. About what? Be specific, please.
Victor Pavle. Did you smuggle a gun to him on flight 224 or not?
This is very bad joke.
Victor doesn't think so. He's dead.
Along with his FBI escort and about 300 other people.
And you had nothing to do with it, right?
Duh! In first place, I wouldn't help Victor. The man was, how you say it here, a freako. He killed more friends than enemies.
We're supposed to think you guys are ex-partners?
Well, why do you think I'm in City of Angels? I wanted to be as far away from that govnook as I could go.
If you're so happy here, why were you running?
Who's running? I'm upwardly mobile. I have wife on Fen-Fen, 2 kids in therapy, new home in Beverly Hills. This is America.
What you've got is a cell down at county. Because in America, you pull a knife on a cop, you go to jail.
Another dead end.
You may be dead yourself if you don't get that looked at.
Not until after we book these guys. Shouldn't take more than an hour or so.
Right about the time your favorite doctor comes back on duty, huh?
Now that's the pilot. Get the hell out of here. And this is the hijacker. Shut up. Do as I say. Pull circuit breaker on COM 1, reduce speed to 170. And that's the pilot again. We could stall out. The hijacker. And decompress aft cargo hold. Do this or I start shooting passengers now.
Wow, it's pretty dramatic stuff.
And that's from the cockpit voice recorder.
That answers a lot of questions. Okay. Let's assume Pavle knocked out his escort, Mike Keegan, and cut himself free from his handcuffs. So what did he do next?
Well, he got his hands on a weapon, Keegan's gun.
And Keegan was shot with a .38. That's not what he was carrying.
Well, then he got someone to smuggle a gun on board before they left Prague. Anyway, after he threatened the pilot, his next stop was the aft cargo hold. This opening is pre-crash. My guess is Pavle smashed his way into the hold through the bulkhead wall of the 3rd floor galley.
And then Keegan revived, followed him down here, and used his backup weapon.
And had one hell of a gunfight.
Yeah, I mean, we pulled bullet fragments out of 3 different spots in the hold.
Then Keegan died here.
Yeah, and at the same time, the gunshots ignited this emergency oxygen canister. A fire began, which eventually brought down the plane.
And then Pavle kicked out the aft cargo door and jumped to his death.
Well, he bailed out, actually. The sheriff's department just sent me this.
They found a parachute floating in Lake Casitas. That's not far from where Pavle was found.
Yeah. So Pavle smuggled on a parachute aboard the plane along with the bolt cutters and the gun.
All this loss of life so that one man could attempt an escape.
Which almost worked. See, Pavle knew enough to order the pilot to fly the plane at a slow stall speed. Otherwise, he never survived the jump.
But he didn't survive.
Well, because the chute wasn't strapped on properly.
That still doesn't explain what happened to the 2 missing passengers.
I don't know. My guess is they never even got on the plane. Maybe they were lucky that day. Slept late, missed the flight.
Ouch. Are you sure you used an anesthetic?
My patients don't usually complain.
Your patients are usually dead.
That can be arranged. Now, this laceration's pretty deep. Maybe I should have had a surgeon handle it in the OR.
I don't have the time.
Why? Bad guys have already been caught. What else is left to be done? I suppose there's always work to be done.
Well, work is definitely better than real life.
Tell me about it. I just got a divorce.
Not fun.
You too?
Never been married. But I've had more than one broken relationship. Aren't you going to say something like, that figures?
Too easy.
I don't regret joining the Bureau. It's just that most women are a little, turned off by the badge and the gun.
Really? I'm around guns and badges all the time. They don't turn me off. But then again, most men don't find the scent of formaldehyde much of an aphrodisiac either.
Would depend on the woman who's wearing it, I suppose.
I suppose.
Amanda. Amanda. You were right about the formaldehyde. Definitely not an aphrodisiac. Hey, what kind of doctor are you? I'm an injured man, remember?
I don't see any signs of diminished physical capacity.
You won't either.
This is gonna be a long day.
Which is why we ought to get some sleep.
I don't think so.
Hey, how much time do you get on one of these snooze alarm things?
About 9 minutes. Well, my alarm and I are very good friends.
Lucky alarm.
This is worse than a cold shower.
Stitches. Going through a tunnel. Bad signal.
Where were we?
That was not 9 minutes. I want my 9 minutes.
Is that all you want?
No.
Neither do I.
We found a gun in the cargo hold. Agent Wagner has confirmed that it was Mike Keegan's backup weapon.
We believe Victor Pavle took Agent Keegan's primary weapon, used the bolt cutters to free himself, and head for the aft cargo hold. Keegan pulled his backup weapon, followed Pavle below, and a gun battle ensued.
And your partner was killed.
And the gunshots ignited a fire, which didn't leave Pavle much time to bail out.
In his haste, he failed to secure his parachute properly. The wind pressure ripped it off, and he fell to his death.
And then smoke and cyanide gas disabled the crew, and that caused the crash.
End of story.
Well, except maybe it's not the right one. There are just too many things here. Don't make any sense at all.
Like what?
Well, the 2 missing passengers, for one thing. What if the voice we heard on the cockpit recorder was one of theirs and not Pavle's?
Come on, Doctor, that's not even reasonable.
Well, is it more reasonable to assume that a trained agent like your partner would let a man who was handcuffed to him overwhelm him that easily?
If there were 2 men on the plane, that would mean that Mike Keegan was taken by surprise and there wasn't anything he could do to stop it.
Even if that were true, it doesn't change the rest of the scenario. It's still a failed rescue attempt.
Well, not necessarily. I checked the cargo manifest against what was found, and there's a shipment from Bavaria Express, and it's still missing.
It's probably out near where Pavle landed. It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, wait a minute. What do you think it means, Mark?
Obviously, those hijackers knew that plane because they disabled the radio. Now, why didn't they disable the voice recorder? Why did they leave it there for us to hear? And why didn't they make sure that Pavle's parachute was secured?
They were sloppy.
Well, I don't think so. This whole thing was so well planned and so well executed. I don't think they ever intended for Pavle to escape.
They left that voice recorder running on purpose so that we would come to the wrong conclusion.
Yeah, so we'd go after the Russian mafia instead of looking for the real answer.
The missing cargo.
Exactly.
Dr. Sloan, we have a simple answer for the crash and what caused it. I don't need an amateur sleuth complicating things with bizarre, convoluted theories. We're done here.
How could you just walk out like that?
I don't need someone trying to convince me that what I know is true is false.
Must be nice to be so damn sure of yourself all
I've
the
handled
time.
cases like this before. I know what I'm doing.
Well, so does Mark. And I've known that man for a long time, and he has incredible insights into things that just don't make sense to the rest of us.
The case makes perfect sense.
Well, it does if you think you have all the answers, but you refuse to look at the questions. Now, what would it hurt to check, huh? Except maybe your pride if you're wrong and Mark is right.
Crash site security.
Transport them to the crash site for this wreath laying thing.
Okay, Sherman, I got a job for you. Get lost.
Go ahead. I've already got a job.
You've got a clipboard. I've got lost cargo. Bavaria Express shipped something on 224 and it's missing.
So?
So I want you to find out what it was, whether it was actually on that plane, and who Bavaria Express really is.
Oh, come on. They have been shipping cargo with us for years. It is a perfectly legitimate outfit.
Check it out.
After I do this...
Sherman, I'll get to it.
This is more than about cargo, Agent Wagner. Right now, it's about people.
Mrs. Trent, I'm Dr. Mike Sloan. Can I help you?
Oh, yes, from the press conference. I remember you. Thank you for speaking up for us.
You know, that was quite an eloquent plea you made for yourself. I was impressed.
Well, one of the counselors told us that closure's important in a situation like this. I guess that's really what I was trying to do.
I lost my wife. You know, it's been a while back, but the hole it leaves never quite closes. It gets smaller with time.
Mrs. Trent?
Well, I guess they're ready to take you out to the side.
Thank you, Dr. Sloan. I won't forget what you said.
How's it going? How many consecutive shifts have you pulled, Jesse?
I don't know. I quit counting sometime last Christmas. Can't wait to get back in the ER.
Well, FBI is taking over. You won't have to do double duty much longer.
Good.
Doctors, we have a problem.
What is it, Jay?
That was the radiation safety officer. He just processed our badges and they came back foggy.
Excessive radiation?
How much?
Not too bad, but he wants to check our new badges and he's running some diagnostics down in radiology.
But that's nuts. I haven't had that badge on for more than 2 days, and you haven't even been down in radiology yet.
Get a Geiger counter in here, Jed.
Amanda, I'm gonna need... I need you and your assistant to close out the ID files.
Jesse's not my assistant. He's a resident in emergency medicine. And when this whole thing is over with, he's going back to where he belongs, and so am I. What? Isn't this where you say, thank you, Amanda, for the lovely evening. Don't call me, I'll call you?
Amanda. I'm sorry. Look, it's just that last night mattered to me.
And last night was important to me, too, but right now I don't know what to think.
Amanda, you're the only sane and decent thing that's happened to me in a long time. I want to hold on to that.
You don't act like it. Stop acting like a closed-minded ass, and please let us help you with this investigation.
I still think Dr. Sloan is wrong. But I did tell Ted Sherman to check on that missing cargo, just to be sure. In any case, that's all going to be over with sooner rather than later. What's more important to me is, are we?
Let's help Jesse with those records.
Yeah, what's the reading? Okay, when you're done, I'll
Mark?
check on the bodies downstairs.
What the hell is going on?
The crash victims. They're all radioactive.
Hey, forget the coffee. Check my screen.
Santa Barbara approach, this is Ventura Tower. We have a 747 coming in low and slow. Did you send a heavy our way?
We've completed the four-corner search, Mark. And every part of the plane has been accounted for except the aft cargo door.
Lieutenant Sloan, LAPD homicide. You recognize this
I'm Ron
body?
Wagner, FBI. This is my investigation.
Looks like he fell from quite a height.
You know who that is?
Victor Pavle. He's seriously connected to the Russian mob.
You know, he had half a pair of handcuffs on him when we found him.
Pavle was in custody?
4 days ago, Interpol cornered him in a club in St. Petersburg. My partner, Mike Keegan, went over to escort him back to the United States.
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't know your partner was on that plane.
So, joint jurisdiction on this?
For the moment. The body you found in that field, I want to see it.
Don't you ever do anything politely?
Not when I'm in a hurry.
So there definitely was a fire on board.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I mean, look at this.
Isn't it true there was some kind of gun battle on Flight 224?
You know, as I said at the outset, this investigation has really just begun, and until it's completed, I'm not going to have
We
any...
learned there was a federal agent escorting a prisoner on the plane. Wasn't this agent shot and killed in the course of the flight?
And didn't his prisoner fire the fatal shot as part of some terrorist suicide mission?
Well, we just finished the final body count of the plane, and get this, 2 passengers are definitely missing.
This is gonna be a long day.
Which is why we ought to get some sleep.
I don't think so.
I checked the cargo manifest against what was found, and there's a shipment from Bavaria Express, and it's still missing.
What the hell is going on?
The crash victims, they're all radioactive.
We've checked everything. Pieces of the wreckage, seats, recovered cargo, everything's radioactive, just like all the passengers.
Radioactive. So you're telling me that Flight 224 was brought down by a nuclear bomb?
No, I don't think so. The eyewitnesses saw the plane explode on impact. Now, if a nuclear device brought it down, there would be radioactive fallout all over the place.
We've deployed hazard teams over 50 square miles just in case, but no one has picked up any radioactivity yet.
Wow. All I know is that I've got a crashed 747 and 300 radioactive corpses in the morgue, and I need to know why before another jet goes down and more people die. Maybe it is some kind of terrorist attack.
Yeah, but why would terrorists radiate a plane of 300 people and then crash it? It just doesn't make any sense.
Terrorists don't make sense. They make statements.
But then they release it to the press, and nobody's taken credit for this yet.
I don't know how, I don't know why, but somebody crashed this plane and they could do it again. This was no accident.
You know what it may have been?
There's nothing radioactive on the 747.
But there could have been on this flight. We know that an FBI agent was bringing a prisoner back, the Russian mafia chief, Victor Pavle.
2 men took over the plane, they freed Pavle, and they parachuted out.
Only we know they weren't really trying to rescue Pavle. That was a cover. They were stealing cargo from the Bavarian Express shipment.
Which is still missing, and I think that is the source of the radiation. We know there was a fire in the cargo hold. Now, what if the radioactive shipment ignited accidentally? Maybe from that gunfight with the agent.
Well, then the smoke could have dispersed radioactive particles throughout the plane.
And then the passengers breathed the smoke and became irradiated. Just a minute. I mean, that shipment weighed 10 kilos.
Well, a half a kilo could have irradiated a plane that size.
And exposed everybody on board.
Why were they trying to smuggle radioactive material into the U.S. in the first place? Wouldn't it have been just as easy to steal it here?
No. Security in American nuclear installations is pretty tight, but in the former Soviet Union, the stuff is, well, very accessible. It wouldn't be that hard for the Russian mafia to get a hold of some and smuggle it out.
Why would the Russian mafia kill one of their own people as a cover to steal their own shipment?
No, they wouldn't. Whoever was smuggling the stuff had no reason to steal the shipment off the plane in mid-flight.
Which means we're dealing with 2 different groups here. The original smugglers and the hijackers who used that escape attempt by Pavle to cover up stealing the shipment.
Then who killed him and 300 innocent people?
And we haven't answered the big question. Who has that 10 kilos of radioactive material? And what do they intend to do with it?
Agent Wagner, you know, we've just confirmed that the
radioactive material is being smuggled on 224. Interpol just turned up a fence in Prague. We got very fat off of selling some used fuel rods. Thanks for the good work. The FBI's taking over now.
So that's it, huh? Good work, people. Now you can just go away.
Amanda, this is now a criminal investigation. The Bureau steps in, and the NTSB...
takes a hike.
I do not have a choice here. This is a matter of national security. I have to follow procedure.
Is that to say that we can't?
That's not the issue. We're talking about people who committed mass murder just to smuggle in black market radioactive material. We're not just talking a plane crash anymore. We're talking Russian mafia.
That's not necessarily so. Mark has found compelling evidence that your partner and Victor Pavle may have been murdered by someone other than the mafia.
Mysterious missing passengers, right?
Why are you so fixated on one solution when there may be others?
Amanda, I've been doing this job for a while. I'm pretty good at it.
I know that, Ron. But there are other possibilities.
Simple answer is usually the right one.
You know, I think you're letting your need to be right get in the way of finding the truth.
And I think you're letting your emotions get in the way, period.
My emotions? What about your emotions? That plane crashed and killed 300 people, including your partner. And you and I had just...
Yes. You and I. Remember what I said about emotions and the jobs we do?
That was about the family's grief. That wasn't about us.
Maybe not then. I don't have a choice here about any of this. Please try to understand.
I can't.
Dr. Sloan.
Yes.
Oh, excuse me. You've been so kind. May I impose on you once more?
Of course you can. What can I do?
Well, I've spent all morning looking for that Pac Atlantic representative.
Ted Sherman.
Yes. He was supposed to give me a release for my husband's remains. Only Mr. Sherman's not in his office or at the crash site. Nobody knows where he is.
He could be in the ME office.
No, I just came from there. And now Dr. Travis says that all the bodies and personal effects.
I'm being held for an indeterminate length of time, I know. I'm sorry.
Please, can you tell me what's going on?
Sure wish I could. Look, I promise you, just as soon as it's possible, I'll explain everything. You know, in the meantime, to try to get this out of your mind. I know that's very hard, but try to get away from it. Take a rest.
You sound like my husband, Louis. He was always telling me to get away from things. Slow down, take it easy.
Good advice. You know, I have a little spot on the beach out by my house. I call it my getting it together place. And just being there restores my perspective, my sense of purpose.
I have a place like that, too. A park near the sea. I can sit on a bench, watch the boats in the channel, and find myself.
My prescription? Exactly.
Thank you, Dr. Sloan.
Tough, huh?
Oh, tough isn't even the word for it.
Anything I can do to help?
You know, Jess, it occurred to me that before those hijackers bailed out, they must have breathed some of the same smoke the passengers did.
And by now, they must be pretty sick.
Oh, deathly. Vomiting, diarrhea, bleeding from the gums, lips, and all the soft tissue.
Classic radiation mucositis.
Yeah, and a physician might easily mistake that for a virulent yeast infection like thrush.
You want me to fax all the local hospitals, see if any patients have come in with severe thrush-like indices?
Yeah, and probably patients who refuse long-term care.
Yeah, okay, you got it.
Okay. Jess, have you seen Ted Sherman?
No, no, not since yesterday.
Yesterday?
You were right about Ted Sherman, Dad. The man's missing. What's more, his apartment's been torn apart.
We need to find Mr. Sherman right away.
You think his disappearance is connected to the hijacking?
Well, he wouldn't be the first airline employee that became a smuggler.
Well, whether he did or didn't, we're no longer involved, remember? Wagner booted us off the case. Doesn't want anyone coming between him and the Russian mafia.
Well, I don't think this has anything to do with the mafia. The business with Ted Sherman just one simple burglary, isn't it?
Which means I'm free to investigate.
With our help.
Oh, I wouldn't have had it any other way, even if I had a choice.
You look happy this afternoon.
And why shouldn't I be? It's a lovely day. The sky is clear, the sun is out, and I just got an answer to our fax. Check it out.
Oh. Funny. Would you read that?
Clinic in Fillmore treated 2 patients this morning for a severe case of thrush.
And they refuse long-term care.
Let's go. You can pick up Amanda on the way. Call me.
2 men, middle 30s, foreign accents, and very, very safe. Look at those profiles.
Wow. Bleeding mucosi, severe diarrhea, intense vomiting.
They needed immediate hospitalization, which I recommended in the strongest possible terms, but they refused. They paid cash and they left.
Any idea where we might find them?
I'm afraid not. They didn't leave an address or a phone number, just their names.
Bill Smith and Bob Jones.
Well, this may be tough. These guys are obviously very imaginative.
Listen, Doctor, we really need to find a line on these men. Did they say anything that might help us find them?
No.
But what about their car?
A red sedan with an Ojai Rents decal in the rear window. Now, if you'll excuse me, we have chickenpox running riot in the kindergarten.
So what do we do now?
Well, let's say we cruise the local motels. All three of them and look for a red sedan.
With Ojai Rent decal.
If they're as sick as Dr. Fleming says they are, they haven't gotten very far.
Ojai Rents.
I'll call in for backup.
Hey, you better call fast. I think somebody just saw us.
Get down!
Stay down.
It's not in there.
I thought we had this thing wrapped up. Could they have hidden it somewhere?
I got a bad feeling they handed it off to whoever they were working for.
Well, he's not going to be working for anybody anymore. They're not going to regain consciousness. It's a horrible way to die.
They earned it.
Have you run the prints yet?
Yeah. It's a Milan Pozier and a Karl Masaryk. Interpol's got a long rap sheet on both of them. Get this. Last known place of employment was Prague. They were ramp agents for Pack Atlantic.
Uh-oh. You think he's going to arrest us or just shoot us on sight?
Ought to have the federal marshals throw the three of you in jail for interfering in an FBI investigation.
What investigation, Agent Wagner? According to you, those two men never even existed.
Over there.
Think she's going to shoot him?
We're lucky.
You people need to back off.
Why? Because we punctured your mafia theory?
Because you're getting in my way.
You're not mad at us. You're mad at Mike Keegan. You have survivor's guilt, Ron. You're just as much a victim as those poor people who laid flowers at that crash site. And until you learn to deal with that anger, you're going to remain mad at me and everybody else.
I should have been there.
What are you...
It's not survivor's guilt. Mike and I were assigned to bring Victor Pavle in. Only I wanted a lousy couple days off, so Mike covered for me. Like he always did. If I'd have been there, we could have handled the situation.
You don't know
Hell,
that.
I don't.
If you had been on that plane, you would have died. And we never would have met.
I need to make a phone call. As a doctor, a community general's got a lot more sense than I do, especially about this case. I'd like him to work on it with me, if you will. According to Interpol, Bavaria Express is a legitimate operation.
I hear a button there somewhere.
But Bavaria's dispatchers said they didn't have any cargo on Flight 224.
But it's on the manifest.
Which was bogus, along with the assignee who should have met this shipment at customs, but he never showed. Tracking him down will be next to impossible.
Well, maybe not. Mark thinks whoever smuggled the fuel rods might have booked a flight on the plane.
To babysit the shipment, a smart move which didn't work.
Thanks to the hijackers.
Dr. Sloan, thanks for coming. I apologize.
Oh, thanks, Ed. Look, what we've got to focus on now is finding Ted Sherman and those fuel rods.
Ted Sherman, the Pack Atlantic rep?
He's disappeared and his apartment was ransacked.
which may be unrelated to the crash of Flight 224.
Maybe not, but what if it is? What if it's a crime of opportunity? You know, Ted Sherman was certainly in the right place to pull it off, or know people who could do it for him.
I'm gonna try to stay open here. Lead me through it, okay?
The first thing that Sherman did when he found out they were smuggling the fuel rods was to contact a couple of crooked ramp agents back in Frog.
Milan and Carl, two very shady characters he was familiar with.
According to the passenger list, they were seated right here, just sitting and waiting for the plane to hit its final approach before they made their move.
Which was?
To retrieve their weapons, get the bolt cutters, and find them wherever they were hidden.
Getting guns on that plane probably wasn't that tough for a couple of airline employees.
I imagine getting the guns on was pretty simple, but then the next move was a little more involved. Our hijackers were very careful to pick seats that were next to Pavle and your partner.
Go on.
So while one went over and disarmed Keegan and took the cuffs off Pavle, the other one went into the flight deck and took charge of the plane.
And it was his voice on the cockpit recorder and not Pavle's. I almost feel sorry for the little slimeball. He must have thought his mafia pals had come through for him.
Imagine the shock when they went down to the cargo hold and Pavle realized what they were really after.
And found out what was in store for him.
Would have been just like Mike, pulling his backup gun and following them down here.
Shots were exchanged, a fire started. Unfortunately, your friend was killed.
They threw Pavle out with the parachute they had stored in here,
They strapped on their own chutes and jumped out.
along with whatever was left of the phony Bavaria Express shipment.
But the irony is that they already were as good as dead since they were exposed to radioactive smoke.
They didn't mean to start a fire. It didn't even mean for the plane to crash. It was all supposed to look like a daring escape attempt by a federal prisoner.
300 people got killed because someone decided to smuggle 10 kilos of radioactive material into L.A.
And somebody else decided to steal it.
Ted Sherman.
He didn't steal that stuff for his rock collection. He intended to sell it to someone, and I have a pretty good idea who that someone is.
Where are you going?
Wilshire and La Brea, Rathbone Imports. Tell Steve to meet me there if he's interested.
Look, I've got an attorney who would say that this is harassment.
Nobody's harassing you, Rathbone.
We're just asking for information from a man who's, let's say, well-versed in international commerce. That would constitute harassment.
Let me suggest something here.
No, you let me. Why don't you two get the hell out of my office?
Suppose someone wanted to unload some stolen radioactive material, say through a middleman, who had contacts with arms dealers all over the world. Now, you've heard of that kind of thing in your line of work?
Yeah, you hear rumors, so?
Well, wouldn't it be your duty as a citizen, then, to tell the authorities about these rumors?
I'm trying to run a business here. If you're looking to buy...
Somebody brought down an airliner just to get their hands on a shipment of black market fuel rods. And since you're the only fence that can move that stuff, you're gonna help us find them.
This conversation is over.
We're done when I say we're done.
Wagner, get up. It's enough. I said that's enough. Terrific. What are the damages?
Well, a few stitches here and there, a sprained wrist, a lot of bruises, but nothing that won't heal.
They're yours?
You stole this from my desk.
I made a probable cause search of your desk and your storage room. Fascinating stuff you've got in there. You want me to tell you what I found, or would you rather I tell you how it's going to go from here?
I'm listening.
Whoever stole those fuel rods is going to contact you sooner or later looking for a buyer. When they do, you're going to play along. We'll triangulate the signal and get a fix on them. Now, how's that sound?
Well, I'm finished, whatever I do.
We all make sacrifices.
All right. I want immunity from the stuff you found in my storeroom.
If you cooperate completely.
You know, I want to thank you. You did a beautiful job of showing me how you keep your emotions from interfering with your work.
You have a wonderful way with patience.
Oh, and you have a wonderful way with your suspects.
Come on, Amanda, it's my job. Sometimes I have to lean on people. Do you really think I could have gotten Rathbone's cooperation by saying please?
And what did you get by pushing the man through plate glass doors, except for 9 stitches? See, Steve calmly walked through the man's storage area, and he got all the leverage that he needed. So which one of you did his job? And which one of you lost control?
Wagner.
You're not going to believe who our new friend's talking to right now. Better get in here.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure I want to get involved. There's too many people looking for this stuff, and for you.
What do you mean?
I mean 300 dead people is bad for business.
I never wanted those people to die. It just all went wrong.
Yeah.
Just give me 10 cents on the dollar. You will make a fortune.
All right, well, I need some time to confer with my associates. Where can I get back to you?
I'll contact you. Let's talk in 2 hours.
Satisfied? We got a trace. Sherman's at a Packard Atlantic warehouse out in Vernon. I'm gonna pick him up.
Oh, this is still my case.
We really need to get into this again.
I just want to come along for the ride.
You can drive.
Wagner, over here.
He's been shot in both kneecaps.
His left elbow, but not his right. That's probably when he handed over the fuel rods.
Yeah. But to who?
I just got word from D.C. Sherman was in Army Airborne.
Which means he knew everything he needed to know about planes.
Including how to jump out of them.
But Sherman still screwed up and got himself killed.
Yeah, probably by the original smuggler. I just wish we could get a clue as what they're going to do with those fuel rods.
I'd settle for a clue as to who that smuggler is.
You know, this picture.
Pretty gruesome, huh?
No, well, yeah, it is, but there's something else. I just can't put my finger on it.
Maybe you're wearing the wrong glasses.
No, it's not the glasses. It's something I've seen and just recently.
A tied-up dead guy?
No. The knot. That's a single carriage, Ben. You don't see them very often. And I saw a decorative variation of that not too long ago on Diane Trent's shoulder bag.
Oh, that poor woman who lost her husband on the plane.
Yeah. All right, follow this for a moment. Suppose you're Diane Trent and you get your husband to smuggle some radioactive material on a commercial airline.
But the plane crashes and he dies.
Yeah, but the fuel rods are pretty solid, so the shipment is still intact. You want it back, so what do you do?
Get yourself appointed spokesperson for the grieving families.
So you can ask a lot of questions and stay close to the investigation.
And if that's not good enough, you talk the families into maybe asking for a special favor.
The wreath ceremony.
An excuse to get close to the crash site.
And there, Diane finds that neither that nor the hangar's been sealed off. There's no radioactivity anywhere.
Because someone stole her shipment in mid-flight.
Smart lady.
Smart enough to sift through the likely suspects and zero in on Ted Sherman.
She also ransacked his apartment and tracked him back to the warehouse.
You know, she went to a lot of trouble and took a lot of risk to get those fuel rods. The big question is, why?
I suggest we go ask her.
I assume you put out the usual APBs. You've alerted bus terminals, the airports, everything.
Still no sign of Diane Trent. This is not going to be easy.
You check this, Wagner?
Nothing, but be my guest.
Mrs. Trent, Marilyn Kale here with Kale MV News. I'd really love an on-air interview. I know it.
Hey, Diane, it's Frank down at the kennel. We finished grooming your golden retriever, so why don't you come pick him up? He misses you.
Diane, dear, this is Bernice at the office. We all understand you not coming in this morning, but...
Have you contacted these people?
Yeah, Marilyn Kell never heard from her. Frank didn't leave a number, and the people at the law office where she worked have no idea what's going on.
And neither do we. There is nothing here to work with. No letters, no address book. All we have are more questions.
Yeah, like, what is your father doing?
Dad? We, missed something?
I don't get it.
Get what?
What? You had a dog. Look around in here and tell me what you see, or rather, what you don't see.
A water dish. No hair. No chew toys.
No sign of a dog, period.
Yeah. There's not a speck of kibble in this kitchen.
Well, maybe the call from Frank down at the kennel was a mistake.
Or maybe it could have been a coded message. Either way, I think we better get in touch with this Frank, have a talk with him.
Tell me, Sloan, how fast can LAPD get a copy of Diane Trent's phone records?
Faster than you can say Frank.
You got lined up already? Well, good work, Steve. Who is he?
Frank turns out to be Frank Hall. Ex-con, three-time loser. Tracked him out to a house in Newhall.
Sheriff's in position. We're ready.
Dad, gotta go.
Okay, listen. Be careful.
Let's go.
Steve asked you to get down. Just do it.
Get down! He's in body armor.
He's down! Move in! Watch it!
Hall?
Mugshot doesn't do him justice.
Secure the house and watch your backs. He may have a roommate.
Okay, who's the hero?
I shot him, if that's what you're asking.
You killed the one person that could have led us to Diane Trent.
All had enough firepower to kill the whole team, Amanda. He had to be taken down.
Glad to see we share a strong sense of mutual trust and respect.
Looks like Hall was playing pen pal with every gun-happy militia nut between here and Michigan.
Destroy America to save it. Highway to Armageddon. This stuff makes the Turner Diaries look like Little House on the Prairie.
Found packed bags in Hall's bedroom, and this.
It's a one-way flight to Sydney this afternoon.
He couldn't have known that we were on to him, and why was he in such a rush to leave town?
You may have the answer to that right here. This is a first. A homemade glove box, a damn good one. It's for handling and processing radioactive material. I can think of only one reason Hall would need something like this.
To build a nuclear bomb.
Well, how big could it be?
Does it matter? The LA Bureau had enough manpower. I wouldn't waste my time calling. I need the best we've got from every bureau in the time zone, and I need them now. Now, I only want volunteers for the job. Make sure they're completely briefed on the situation, and try to get agents without families. Yeah,
So it is real.
we have to act as if it is.
Ron, I came by to apologize.
For what?
Well, for thinking that you killed Frank Hall deliberately.
I did.
Well, what I'm trying to say was that I acted badly. I know that I was unreasonable.
Nah, you weren't.
Don't tell me. I know when I'm being unreasonable, and I was unreasonable. And I would like to apologize, please.
Well, the way I've been behaving lately, I'm not surprised you thought I was out of control again.
But you weren't.
I do listen when you tell me I'm being a jerk. Besides, this has gotten a lot more serious than the Russian mafia or a simple airplane crash.
I know. When I think about it, it terrifies me.
A suitcase bomb made with the technology available to Frank Hall might be capable of leveling an area of 3 square miles.
3 square miles?
So if the bomb is detonated in downtown Los Angeles...
But there won't be any more downtown Los Angeles. It'll vaporize it along with everyone who's lucky enough to be there.
You have an intriguing notion of luck.
Well, at least they won't be there to see what comes next. Because there'll be a firestorm that will level everything between Pasadena and the ocean. And this city is not set up to handle a catastrophe like that.
No city is. Even the best emergency plans, the only good they can do is make people feel better.
Ron, this bomb may go off without any warning. And if we did survive the blast, what do you think life would be like after?
We'll find her, Amanda. We have to find her.
We checked the glove box and we found high levels of radiation. Well, Hall definitely made a bomb.
And delivered it. And probably to Diane Trent.
Steve and Ron are checking out Hall's associates, but still nothing. You know, Mark, I have probably broken about 1,000 rules today, and I just do not care. I called Colin. I told him to take CJ out of town, actually out of state.
Yes, why?
No, he heard rumblings on the base, and, you know, the military's on full alert. Anyway, he did exactly what I asked him to do, and they should be in Santa Fe, you know, before anything happens.
I think you did the right thing. Wish I could do the same for Steve. Where'd this come from?
Got that off of Frank Hall's mantle. Now, that looks like him, but this photograph has to be at least 20 years old.
Where was this taken?
Oh, anywhere California.
Well, we need more than that.
Well, the car's mid-60s.
Yeah, didn't help much. Wait a second. The license tag says 77. This little girl here, did Hall have a daughter?
There's no record that he was ever married.
This other guy looks kind of familiar, too. Look at the ropes on those packs there.
Let's see. Well, that's that whatchamacallit knot.
A Carrick band is the same knot Ted Sherman was tied up with.
And the same knot that was on Diane Trent's shoulder bag.
That little girl's Diane Trent. You got some good news?
Well, it's news at least. Wagner's people in D.C. identified the other man in a photo.
Oh. Carl Kallstrom?
Had a family like Manson's, only a lot better armed. Most of them died in a shootout with the LAPD. The only survivor was Kallstrom's daughter.
His name's Diane. Yeah. Steve, look at the date of the shootout.
Tomorrow's the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, 10 a.m. to be exact. You better call Wagner. As a matter of fact, you better call the governor. If we don't find Diane Trent in 7 hours, we've got an apocalypse on our hands.
of city, state, and federal officials, and nobody knows what to do.
Well, it sounds like you're doing something.
Can we go someplace where we don't have to shout?
Well, there's an interrogation of the men's room.
What are you doing?
Well, officially, we're looking for a gas leak.
Gas leak, that's the cover story?
Not just any gas leak. A breakdown in the entire system.
That way, whatever part of the city we search for Diane Trent, we can shut down the streets without telling anybody what we're really looking for.
What about an evacuation?
How? We go public with this now, we'd create a panic.
Everybody would head for the nearest on-ramp, and the freeways would be totally jammed.
We couldn't coordinate our search parties.
Have you found anything?
The first place we checked is where the Carlson family shot it out with the LAPD.
Which is now under the West Side Mall.
Well, she still might go there.
Yeah, we've cordoned off the whole area, 3 blocks square.
SWAT team's doing a door-to-door. Haven't found any sign of her yet.
Well, she could go to other places to make a statement.
And we're searching all of them. Every police station, the federal building, every place her father worked.
Even the cemetery where he's buried.
We got the manpower and the resources. We're bound to find her.
In less than 6 hours?
We better get moving if we're gonna have any chance at all.
Less than an hour to go, and the police haven't found a thing.
Well, this is a pretty big town. She could be anywhere with that bomb.
I don't think she's just anywhere, Jesse. She wants to make sure her revenge is unforgettable.
I'd say that blowing up half of L.A. is pretty unforgettable.
Well, she'll pick some place with political significance so that everybody will know exactly why she's doing it.
Where's that Carlson massacre file? The officer in charge of the SWAT team that day was David Bryant. He became police chief shortly after that. Made his career for him.
Well, maybe she's going after him.
No, he's been dead for 10 years. But that's the connection. I know where she is.
We've got 50 minutes.
I ran into Diana at the hospital the other day. She was very, very upset. I told her she had to go somewhere peaceful and sort things out.
She said she was coming here?
Well, she said her favorite park near the ocean where she could see the boats.
So that could be a dozen places. Why this one?
Well, when Chief Bryant died, they dedicated this park in his name.
So then this place is a reminder of what happened to her father, but it's also a tribute to the man in the city that killed him.
I don't know. That's really reaching.
Well, it's all we got, Jesse. You know, it's going to take time to search a park this size. We haven't got time.
Well, we better split up.
Yeah. Listen, be careful, you two. This is a dangerous woman.
Well, with a nuclear bomb under her arm, I'd say she's a little more than dangerous.
Good luck.
Hey, don't do it. I mean, don't eat your lunch too fast. It could. Bye.
Mark, over there.
Diane?
I don't know how you found me. It's nice that you're here.
Nice?
Yes. We'll have shared something, you and I. Joining my father. Just a minute.
The man and your dad, they're in the line of fire.
More people should know about him.
Diane, nobody's going to know anything if you blow up the whole city.
They'll know about his hatred for all things impure. And they'll feel my hatred for them at the second of their death. And that will be sufficient.
Diane, don't you see, it's such a hollow victory. Surely there's some other way.
Don't.
Hey! Diane, Trent! Diane, no! It's over.
Oh, the red wire. It's always a red wire.
Jesse, there aren't any red wires. They're all black.
you feeling?
You know, if I'd have known she wanted to shoot someone, I'd have let you be the distraction.
Hey, it was your investigation.
Next time, it's your investigation.
Yeah. Next time. You take it easy, okay?
See you.
Amanda. Well, this is awkward. I feel like somebody ought to make a formal introduction. Ron Wagner, Amanda Bentley. I'm aware that you two spent the night together, but how much do you really know about each other?
Not nearly enough.
I could try to get a transfer to the LA Bureau.
I don't think that either one of us is ready for that decision. I think we have too many things that are unresolved.
Like dead partners.
And dead marriages.
I'd say we could make this work.
Except that I know for a fact that distance and relationships are a very, very bad mix.
Yeah. It's just that there's so much here.
Well, maybe someday if we're lucky.
Well, will you at least have dinner with me, Dr. Bentley, before I leave LA? Once I get out of this gown?
I would love to have dinner with you, Agent Wagner. And I believe I can help you out with this gown.
I was hoping you'd offer.
No more reading glasses. No more computer glasses. No more distance glasses.
So then you're just gonna walk around in a fog all day?
Nope. Blended trifocals, a 3-in-1 solution to your vision problems. One for reading, one for computers, one for distance.
Because you're gonna need to see this.
What?
Looks like the press bought that crazy cover story.
What does it say?
City survives gas leak.
Oh.
Wow, you better get those glasses checked.
These'll do just fine, thanks.
All right, see the calendar.
Sexual Surrogate is a cutting-edge drama about a dedicated therapist who uses her body and soul to help families in crisis. You want me to buy a series about a hooker? She's a licensed healthcare professional. It's a perfectly legal and compelling side of the medical profession we've never seen before on television. We're the Family Values Network, remember? Our viewers want people to go to angels, not hookers, to solve their problems. What about Big Man on Campus? A theology student with a Bible and a badge. Think Brad Pitt. We don't have Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt wasn't always Brad Pitt. For a long time, he was just Brad Pitt. Big Man on Campus is Hunter meets Wise Guy on 21 Jump Street, and we have Jackson Burley running the show. Burley has not had a hit in 10 years. Anthropologists should freeze him now so people in the future can see what the 1980s were like. This is his big comeback. He's just delivered a pilot. It won't kill you to see it. Anything else? Send Harry in.
Yes, ma'am.
We've got 3 more bags of this in the mailroom.
Imagine that. Mail in the mailroom. What's the point? We're all from fans of space cops. You mean fat women with unicorn jewelry and elf statuettes, dreaming of finding a man as affectionate as their cats. The Spaceys are a very devoted group of viewers. In fact, research shows most are baby boomers and their children, all of whom fall comfortably into the 18 to 49 demographic. Given time and patience, Space Cops could become a multimedia phenomena. Not even if it had Brad Pitt. We have things to discuss. Walk with me. I'm late to a taping. Everybody hates me. They all want to see me fail. Oh,
You're under enormous pressure, there's no doubt about it. But you don't help yourself by doing this. They hate me because I'm so damn good.
You're my lawyer, not my publicist.
I am your oldest friend and your sorority sister, which makes me one of the few people who can say, what the hell were you thinking?
I can't just sit there and let the entire TV industry trash me in the press.
Yes, you can. You can't lose. The only way you'll go is if they fire you. And if they do that, they still have to pay you the balance of a $15 million contract.
It's not the money I care about. It's the respect.
Money is respect in this business.
Look out!
Where are your pills?
Person.
Call 911!
That was a joke. Look, Dad, if I can remove a spleen, I'm sure that I can bait a hook with a live worm. Okay, look, why don't we talk about it when I get there? Okay, I do too. You bet. Bye, Dad.
Visiting with your dad?
My vacation is coming up in a couple of days, and I made the mistake of telling him. Now he wants to spend a week with me fishing in Oregon.
Well, that's great, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen the guy since my parents were divorced. That's when I was in high school. He's remarried. He's got stepsons. He's got a big dog.
But he's not calling them. He's calling you, and this is your opportunity to get to know him.
What's the point now?
I remember you telling me that you envied the father-son relationship that Steve and Mark have.
I do.
Well, this is your chance to build your relationship with your dad.
But I don't want to have that with my dad. I want to have it with Steve's dad.
The two most enduring genres on TV are cop shows and medical dramas. You are a franchise.
A what?
You're a series. I call it Dr. Danger. He heals the sick, he nails the scumbags. His weapons are a stethoscope and a gun.
Well, I don't have a gun.
Guns don't fly, cars don't talk, and angels don't look like Della Reese. So what? I need you for the pitch, to ground the concept in reality.
That's what I'm talking about.
Good. Well, welcome aboard.
You know, this sudden interest in my life, it wouldn't have anything to do with Rachel Woodrow being my patient, would it?
A year ago, you exposed my wife as a sick, twisted, money-hungry murderer and sent her to prison. That revelation tore my life apart. By doing this project, maybe I can make some of the pain go away.
I'm sorry. I had no idea.
No, it's, I keep it locked inside. But you know, a good pitch would probably lift Rachel's spirits.
What? Not today. Look, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll help you with your project on one condition. You leave Rachel alone until she's healthy, till she's back at work.
You protect your patients because you're a doctor who cares.
There is something like that.
Fighting germs with medical science and injustice with his fists.
Did you get a look at the driver?
It was a spacey.
Excuse me?
One of those obsessed space cop fans in a Star Command uniform. I canceled the show.
They tried to kill you because of a TV show.
TV is an intimate medium. You let these characters come into your house every week. And for some people, the characters are almost real. I didn't cancel their favorite TV show. I killed their closest friends.
Well, I'll look into it.
Take these with you when you go.
Oh, no. I need those to stay in touch with the office.
I know. The fax machine and TVs go next.
Dr. Sloan, you're killing me.
No, I'm not. These are. You need to cut down on stress.
I thought you said that my condition had stabilized.
Stabilize, yes. But you have high blood pressure. You have a family history of heart disease. You need rest.
It's pilot season, Dr. Sloan.
That kind of a mindset's going to drive you right to a heart attack, my friend.
Karen, explain this to him.
Dr. Sloan, Rachel's ambition her entire life has been to become the top programming executive at a major network. She hasn't slowed down 1 second getting there. It's time she did.
Traitor.
I'll be back later.
It's a good thing you knew about the nitroglycerin pills.
We were in the same sorority in college, Dr. Sloan. We didn't have any secrets from each other.
You know, I have one for you, Karen. That attack was just a warning. She has got to take it easy. Do you think she will?
Well, only if the next guy who tries to run her over doesn't miss.
Say, Space Cops, this is Normac. Yes, you can.
Welcome aboard, Lieutenant Sloan. I'm always glad to assist a fellow officer.
And you are?
High Admiral of the UEO. United Extraterrestrial Operation.
I meant here on Earth. In the real world. What's it say on your driver's license?
Oh, Ernie Cooley.
What is all this, Ernie?
We're mounting an international campaign throughout fandom to save Space Cops. We're spamming the internet. We're leafleting the SF convention.
You're running over network executives?
Who do you think we are? Babylon 5 fans? Each of us has sworn to uphold the Space Cop creed. To protect those of other races, other places, other faces. To take justice and peace to the furthest edges of space and beyond. Beyond. Beyond.
I get your point, Ernie, but whoever tried to kill Rachel Woodrow was wearing one of these uniforms.
Clearly, this is an attempt to besmirch the Spaceys. Anyone can wear the uniform, but not everybody can embody it and the ideals it represents.
You're right. You're right. I don't deserve to wear the badge.
Jennifer.
Someone had to stop her from destroying the universe. I'm just sorry I failed.
You do all know that this is just a TV show, right?
Don't leave here 1 minute earlier than necessary. You're much more important to us than any network schedule.
Thank you, Carl. I really appreciate that.
We're behind you 1,000%. You're very lucky to have such an understanding boss.
He's a viper. Relax, regroup, center yourself. Those are code words for don't bother looking over your shoulder. The knives are already on your back.
I had no idea the television business was so brutal.
It's dog eat dog and all the dog's puppies.
You ever think of doing something else?
When can I get out of here?
Well, Rachel, I was going to release you today.
Good, because I was going to leave in 2 minutes anyway.
Rachel, I have told you, you have to slow down. You've got to cut down on the stress.
I am the first woman to run a network. If I suddenly slow down, this is going to confirm everything that they already think. That I can't take the pressure, that I'm too fragile, I'm too weak for the job.
I'm afraid that's the truth.
I'm going to send an assistant to pick up all this stuff. Thank you very much, Dr. Sloan, for everything.
Hey, there you are.
What's up?
Well, you know, I'm supposed to go on vacation tomorrow.
Great. Have a wonderful time.
The thing is, I think I picked the wrong month to go. Statistics clearly prove that more patients come in now than any other time of the year.
Oh, I think we'll manage.
Well, I think you may want to look at these statistics yourself, and while you're doing that, I'm going to call my travel agent and see if I can get another flight.
You're that eager to avoid seeing your father.
I would rather spend a week in proctology.
Calling. Dr. Danger. And his trusty assistant, Derek.
It's Jesse.
Derek is better, trust me. So, I got a pitch with Rachel. Meet you at her office today at 3.
Rachel, she just left here.
Well, just shows you how eager she is to snap this up before CBS gets it. Hey, Troy works too. Walk with it, roll with it, see how it plays. Oh. Jackson Burley. Writer-producer of My Gun Has Bullets and the Young Barnaby Jones Chronicles.
I don't think I saw them.
Even if you live in a cave, you can get cable. Join our culture, Mark. It's fun. Jack, how's it going?
Well, I took the back road up, but I will not bite the fat lady's bullet when the preacher sings for me.
Oh, same goes triple for me.
What'd he say?
I have no idea, but I agree with him wholeheartedly. So, you here to pitch Rachel?
She's screening my pilot.
Big man on campus. That's man with two ends. He's a theology student with a 4.0 average and a 357 Magnum.
Oh, you know, I heard the buzz on that is so high you can get altitude sickness just talking about it.
Used to be I didn't have to wait for anybody. Got a 22-episode commitment for my grocery list.
You know, I think I saw that show.
This is our third date, Cindy. I need more from you.
I'm not that kind of girl.
And I'm not that kind of guy.
Then what is it you want?
I want to know you, to understand you, to touch your soul before I touch your body.
You are different from all the other boys. Maybe I can show you who I really am. What I truly believe in. Satan.
What is this? This isn't a sorority, it's a satanic cult.
It's not a cult. It's an alternative lifestyle. No! Open your black heart to Satan, TJ. We have. No!
I think you moved her.
I'm a doctor. I have to get in there. Allow me.
Jack, you know CPR? Are you kidding? I've done 5 medical shows.
Call an ambulance.
Blow out the candles on your pentagram, baby. You're all under arrest.
What?
This sucks.
She's dead.
It's worse than I thought.
It's pretty cut and dry. She died of a heart attack, Mark.
Well, Rachel knew she was at high risk for coronary problems. It was a death that didn't have to happen.
Oh, in more ways than one. I found glucose under her tongue.
Glucose?
The nitroglycerin pills were replaced with sugar pills. This was murder.
Did you say murder? Hey, isn't that Rachel Woodrow?
Jesse, we can handle it.
Well, not without my help. Don't you need someone to negotiate the labyrinthian corridors of power at NBC?
Jesse, you haven't had a vacation in over a year now, and you don't want to let your dad down.
Yeah, but the investigation.
We'll tell you all about it when you get back.
Have a good time. Did he say labyrinthian?
We know you're the best person for the job.
I really appreciate the support, Carl.
Rest assured, we're behind you 1,000%.
Thank you. What's this?
Well, it's my way of saying that you cracked through the wall without shaving the glitter off the cake, baby.
Thanks. I just wish it happened differently. Rachel was like a sister to me.
Well, Rachel was the glory and the hope, the fire that burns and the flowering rose that stings the least. And the way to honor her memory is to deliver a kick-ass schedule.
Well, that's my commitment to her and to this network.
So, where are you putting, Big Man on Campus?
Oh, sorry, Jack. It's passé.
Well, it wasn't passé yesterday.
Nothing is passé yesterday. This is today. The show just wasn't hip anymore. I need fresh ideas.
Look, I leveraged my whole studio to produce this pilot. If I don't get something going, my deficits are going to kill me. Okay, look. You want hip? I got something so cutting edge. It draws blood. The new Peter Pan. He's a fairy, but with an attitude. And a badge.
It's too early to be developing for mid-season. Come back in a couple months.
I don't have a couple of months.
Thanks for the flowers, Jack.
Hollywood is reeling from the sudden death of controversial NBC President Rachel Woodrell. Today, TV's biggest stars share their poignant memories of her brief, tumultuous life.
Well, you know, Rachel tried to get Family Matters for NBC. She had this bizarre idea that she was going to revitalize the show.
Urkel and Winslow for hire. Tough, gritty private eyes taming the mean streets with their unique brand of crime fighting.
You know, she saw it as a drama, you know, the way Lou Grant left Mary Tyler Moore.
Hey, it worked for me.
It's been said that Miss Woodrell made your career.
You got my message. I was beginning to wonder.
What message?
I forgive you for being late. Bringing Steve was a masterstroke. You got your badge and your gun with you?
What are you doing here?
Well, you don't think you could pitch this alone, do you? Pitching is a gift, my friend, and you just don't have it. Now, Paige is waiting. I'll do the talking, you fill in the gaps.
We came to investigate a murder.
Not bad. Try to be more convincing in the room.
Rachel Woodrell was killed.
No problem. That'll give our pitch immediacy and verisimilitude.
You must be Dr. Danger.
Dr. Mark Sloan, medical consultant with the police department.
That's me.
It's his son. They live together, too, which brings the adventure home.
We're investigating Rachel Woodrell's murder. Someone switched her heart medicine with sugar pills.
A sweet way to die. That could be our pilot.
We're gonna need all of her appointment books and belongings.
Help yourself. They're boxed up in the hallway.
You know, you've redecorated the office nicely.
Is that your way of saying it didn't take me long to move in?
Friendly as Santa, but cunning as a ferret, isn't he?
It's pilot season, Dr. Sloan. I don't have time to mourn. I have to create a primetime schedule.
Sounds like Rachel's murder provided you with a career opportunity.
Yes, it did.
Ouch. Do you feel the heat? It'll radiate off the screen.
Did Rachel have any enemies?
She made careers and broke them. Of course she had enemies. If I'm any good at this, so will I.
What about death threats?
Lance, could you have the mailroom prepare Rachel's hate mail for Detective Sloan?
Right away, Miss Jennings.
You can pick it up on your way out. The executive mailroom's the last door before the elevators.
Thank you for the time.
We'll be back.
Now that is a series.
Excuse us, this is the mailroom.
The heart of the network. Harry Fellows, Manager, Information Services and Operations, which is a fancy way of saying the mail guy.
You seem awfully well dressed for mailmen.
Oh, we have to stay presentable at all times. We deliver mail, faxes, and packages to every office in this building, from the CEO to the lowest development executive. And if you want any of those jobs, you start here. They all did.
You know, all the executives seem so...
young? Well, youth is more important in TV than experience. Rachel went from here to running the network in 3 years. Fastest rise and fall I've seen in my 3 decades here.
She didn't fall, she was pushed. Steve Sloan, homicide. We're here to get Rachel's hate mail.
Saves us the trouble of shredding it.
That's all for Rachel?
For the month. You need some help down with it?
That'd be nice.
Okay. Hey, could you give these guys a hand?
What are you doing here anyway, Jesse? You're supposed to be fishing with your dad.
Well, I've gone undercover to help you guys explore the
labyrinthian corridors of power at NBC.
You're not an undercover cop, Jess. This is fraud.
No, it's not. I got this job honestly, based on my own qualifications.
You told him you were a surgical resident at Community General?
Oh, you bet I did. You need a master's or better just to get an interview. Competition is brutal.
You know, we don't know a thing about politics at network television anyway. Maybe having a guy on the inside is a good idea.
Jesse Travis, man on the inside. Sounds like a series. See, I'm picking up the attitude already.
You got enough attitude. You pick up on anything else?
Well, Harry told you that Rachel rose faster than anybody else. Paige just beat that record, thanks to Rachel's death. See, it all fits a pattern. Anybody who gets in Paige's way is either fired or they quit. One way or another, they're gone.
You think she'd resort to murder?
Well, like I said, it's pretty brutal. And you know Jackson Burley, the guy who wrote Big Man on Campus? Anyway, he was supposed to write Jack Blood Action Fist.
Great movie.
Excellent movie. $150 million and counting. Anyway, Rachel didn't let him out of his exclusive contract to write it because he had to finish writing the last 3 episodes of the Young Barnaby Jones Chronicles. And when he did, she canceled it.
I think Jesse just did us a big favor.
Frankencop isn't just another basic cable action show. We're rewriting the grammar of television.
I had no idea.
Yes, that's why Rachel Woodrow didn't buy it. She didn't have the guts to revolutionize the medium. Now that she's gone network TV, we'll have more shows with an edge.
12 dead cops coming together to make one great crime fighter. Frankencop.
Yeah.
You ready for your shot, Eric?
All right.
Hey. Okay, go. Kick some butt. Oh, you picked a good day to visit. We're doing the big mud wrestling sequence this afternoon. You know, 20 years, they're going to be saying Frankencop in the same breath with Police Story, Hill Street Blues,
Airwolf.
You know, Rachel, she could have had this, but she lacked a vision.
Rachel could have had a lot of things. What she lacked was nitroglycerin pills. Someone switched them with sugar pills and killed her.
You think I look good for that?
You were the last person to see her alive. You could have switched the pills during your meeting.
Well, why would I do that?
It cost you a movie career and then canceled your show.
Let me rephrase that. Why would I do that when she hadn't decided whether to pick up Big Man on campus? She was watching the pilot when she died.
Revenge?
You know, they got a lot of guts in basic cable. I don't know, but it takes a whole lot more than just guts. What they don't have is money. And I'm deficit financing this whole thing. I really need a network show to generate cash flow. Like they say, you can walk the talk, but don't run the gun if you can't stand the hand.
That's what I always say.
I swear by the goo that the anthrobile mebusite who canceled the greatest show in the universe will feel my wrath and tremble before my righteous fury.
Unbelievable.
Telling me. A fan base that devoted is something showrunners can only dream about.
What kind of a person would write that?
Clearly someone who doesn't live by the space cop's creed.
Huh?
To protect other races and other faces. 3,000 people write in trying to save the show. I figured it's worth a look.
Question is it worth a life?
Well, the outer space law enforcement theme specifically targets the key young urban males that advertisers crave, and the rugged character of Captain Hudson is tremendously appealing to women 25 to 49.
Well, whoever did it had to have access to her office in order to switch the pills.
Well, according to a calendar here, that's just about everybody in the television business.
I tell you, during pilot season, a network president is the most popular person in the world and the loneliest. What, you wanted an inside perspective? I'm giving it to you.
We're still waiting for something useful.
Rachel's first development season was going to be her last.
Rachel was on her way out? Who told you that?
No one told me. I saw the pilot she ordered. Okay, look at it. You tell me what you think. These are pages from the pilot that she was watching just before she died. It's TJ Mann's first date, okay? And he takes this gal back to her sorority, and he says, "I need to know you to touch your soul before I touch your body."
Let me see that. I need that too, but I can't have sex for free anymore. It's $2.50 a pop. And if you're paying by check, I need 2 forms of ID.
I don't think, let me see that. I don't believe it. You just found the murder weapon. Rachel Woodrow was killed by this pilot.
Okay, you got me. How does a TV pilot become a murder weapon?
It was what killed her. The sugar pills were just to ensure that it was fatal.
But how could the killer know that she would have been alone when she reached for the pills?
Everyone knew that Rachel insisted on watching the tapes by herself. She's seen so many bad pilots. I mean, if Slim and the Nun didn't kill her, why would Big Man on campus?
This one was made especially for her. Look at these pages.
Okay, sorority call, girls. It's tacky, but it's nothing that Melrose Place hasn't done.
That's not what's on the tape.
Open your black heart to Satan, TJ. We have.
Thank you for coming in, Ms. Danino.
It would be in your best interest to come to the police station. What the hell's that supposed to mean?
I figured you wouldn't want to be in your office when we discuss Satan.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Then my mistake. Sorry for the inconvenience. I'll just come to your office if I have any more questions about Satan.
If one word of this leaks out, my lawsuit will bankrupt your department.
Ms. Danino, your religious practices are your own business. I'm just interested in Rachel Woodrell's murder.
Rachel was murdered? By whom?
Someone who knew that your college sorority was full of devil worshippers.
We weren't a cult. Sure, we roasted the occasional goat in the moonlight, but, aside from the Latin chants and the naked dancing, it was like any other barbecue.
Bunch of wholesome co-eds out for some good, clean fun on a Saturday night.
We were 18 and away from home for the first time, trying to rebel against our parents.
By worshiping the devil.
No one took it seriously at the time. It wasn't until we were out in the real world that we realized how stupid we had been and how damaging it would be if anyone ever found out.
To a lawyer in a prestigious firm, I can understand, but the entertainment industry seems to be a little more tolerant of alternative lifestyles.
Sure. Do drugs, forge checks, sleep with your sister. Nobody in Hollywood cares. But you light one lousy black candle.
And you confirm what TV's harshest critics have been saying all along.
Don't think that Rachel and I didn't joke about it in the privacy of her office. There are people in the flyover states who believe that shows like Married But Available and His and Hers are deliberate attempts to undermine this nation's moral values.
And if they found out the woman who'd put those shows on the air was worshiping the devil.
Even the USA Network wouldn't have touched her.
Satanist?
In her college sorority. That mean anything to you?
Yeah, it means Rachel Woodrell sold her soul to the devil, but she still couldn't pick a hit TV show.
I'm glad you find death so amusing, especially since your pilot may have killed her.
Well, that's good writing.
That's murder. We find out that script was deliberately changed to trigger the heart attack.
Listen, you can floor both pedals, but you can't jam the rooster if he's looking down the speculum.
I'll assume that wasn't a confession.
Hey, the only thing I'm guilty of is taking the worst story notes I ever heard. Geez, that whole Satan angle, that wasn't my idea.
Your name was on the script.
My script was a tone poem about fragile innocence meeting the brutal reality of the cold streets.
So why did you change hookers to Satan worship?
Because you don't ignore a network president's notes and hope she'll pick up your pilot.
Rachel Woodrell told you to change it to Satanists?
She didn't have the guts to tell me directly. I got the facts right here.
And you just happened to keep the memo all this time?
You saw the pilot, wouldn't you?
We have a few questions for you, Miss Jennings.
About Rachel Woodrell? Spending her leisure time bowing down before Beelzebub?
You knew all along.
When I worked for her, I thought she was the devil. I just found the truth out when reporters started calling about 3 hours ago.
15 minutes after I told Jackson Burley.
It's a small-town detective. No secret lasts for long.
Especially if it's faxed in the form of script notes. That is your fax number, isn't it? The show based on those notes caused Rachel's fatal heart attack.
If I'd known Rachel was a Satanist, I wouldn't have to kill her to get this job. I could have called Entertainment Tonight.
Unless you really hated her.
Especially if I really hated her. You can give me that Steely cop stare all you want, Detective. It's not going to change the fact that I didn't know. Rachel barely trusted me with the ratings, let alone her deepest secret.
You didn't have to. This room's bugged.
The hottest story in prime time is full of bizarre twists, mysterious betrayals, and satanic rituals. But don't turn on your TV looking for it. this isn't fiction. It's what's happening behind the scenes of network television. Everyone is talking about fifth-place network NBC, which is reeling from the revelation that the net's late president, Rachel Woodrell, was a Satan worshiper and may have been murdered. What was your relationship with Rachel Woodrell?
Yeah, it's painful to talk about it, but she wanted me to do a buddy cop show called Siamese Cop. But there was no way I was going to spend 5 years sharing a suit with Scott Baio.
Were you surprised to find out about her secret past?
Well, I think it explains how the Anson Williams show got on the air.
What do you think about the scandal?
An urge towards Satanism is much like any other antisocial behavior, a rebellion against the status quo, a way to say, look at me, I'm different.
Can a Satan worshiper make it as a network executive?
The network president is a Satanist? Someone murders her with a pilot? Sounds like a great TV movie. Oh, you know, people have said that I look just like her.
Well, this mystery just continues to grow and grow. Kim, do you have anything?
How bad is it out there?
Oh, let's just say there's sometimes I'm really glad I'm not in the executive suites.
I tell you, that's the one good thing about this job. Nobody ever blames the guy in the mailroom.
You think so? At the 6:30 delivery?
Uh-huh.
It is now 7:15. Wait another 10 minutes before you deliver it, and then see if nobody ever blames the guy in the mailroom.
Mail!
If I had any idea she was so troubled, I never would have offered her the job.
Did Paige ever mention suicide?
Well, she once said she'd rather be dead than work with Tom Arnold again, but other than that, I never heard anything.
So you have no idea why she would have killed herself?
Job stress. I'm telling you, running a major network is probably the most stressful job in the world.
I can see how watching TV all day would be tougher than police work or emergency medicine.
Just because the product is entertainment doesn't mean the stakes aren't high. Every decision can mean millions of dollars.
And because there are no objective measures of quality in this industry, you never know if you've lost the touch.
Did Paige?
We'll never know.
Personally, I think she had. I mean, honestly, guys, if you're gonna pick up a show like Sexual Surrogate, isn't it much smarter to put it up against a show like Touched by an Angel? Give the audience a clear choice. Look at this, her Saturday night programs are hopelessly incompatible. And the woman did not have a clue how to fight the other network sitcoms.
What would you have done in her place?
Well, first,
maybe we could arrange the schedule after we determined why Paige Jennings killed herself.
She didn't, unless she tied the computer cord around her neck, jumped off the desk, and knocked herself out with a blunt object.
Well, that would mean
that it's murder.
And maybe this is why.
So Paige planted the bugs. How long have you been listening to those tapes?
What?
Oh, all night long. I couldn't stop. I mean, this is compelling stuff in here. Drama, intrigue, sex.
Sex?
Oh, lots of it. Most of it in Paige's office, and mostly with Jackson Burley.
Why would she bug her own office?
I don't know. Why did Nixon?
I bet you his tapes weren't nearly as entertaining.
But just as full of conspiracies and cover-ups and secrets. Paige had the dirt on every executive in that building.
Well, now we know how she rose from the mailroom so fast.
Unfortunately, it doesn't narrow down our list of suspects any. There were at least a dozen people in there with a motive to kill her, and I hadn't even finished listening to the tapes yet.
Lieutenant Frankencop comes to arrest the psycho killer. But what he discovers is he's got this guy's brother's spleen smoldering in his gut. The story arc is, how does a cop deal with having a homicidal maniac's internal organs?
Can't tell you how many times that's happened to me.
Oh, well, we don't need another story consultant.
No, you may need a legal one. You were sleeping with Paige Jennings.
Well, of course. I mean, she was beautiful. And she could greenlight development projects.
And when Paige moved into Rachel's place, she had the power to pick up your show and save your studio. But she didn't do it.
Keep cranking, guys. I'll be right back.
Hey,
You're making the natives nervous. They think there are no coconuts up in the trees. They're going to want to move to another village.
Losing your studio can be a powerful motive for murder.
And don't talk to me about motives either. I've written more cop shows than anybody. And I couldn't have hung Paige. I got carpal tunnel syndrome. Every word I type has its price and pain. Check my medical records.
What do you think about Dr. Doolittle as a private eye who hires animals as his secret operatives?
It's horrible.
Well, Rachel Woodrow ordered 13 episodes if she could get Chad Everett.
Well, maybe she was killed by viewers for quality television.
Yeah, I've heard them all. It's the last tape.
And?
One's missing.
How do you know?
Karen Danino told you she talked to Rachel in her office about their satanic past? Tape isn't there.
Why would Paige keep the tapes on everybody, including her own lovemaking with Jackson Burley, and not the one that mattered most?
Yeah. And something else bothers me. As Paige said, if she knew about Rachel's secret, she'd just release it to the press. I mean, why go to all the trouble of scaring her to death?
Paige always used what she knew against people, till she rose so fast at NBC.
You know that missing tape? What if she never had it?
I don't follow you.
Well, what if she wasn't the one who bugged the office? What if somebody gave her the tapes?
I mean, someone with his or her own agenda to have Rachel, Dad, and Paige in her place.
Yeah, and Paige has reneged on a deal somehow.
Yeah, but who? We're no closer to the killer than we were before.
What do these two murders have in common?
Two beautiful women who started at the bottom and ended up running a network.
And that's how we're going to flush out this killer.
All done.
See you tomorrow, then. What?
Oh, I don't know. I just hate to leave this place.
Is your home life that troubled, son?
Oh, no, it's just I'm learning so much here that I feel like every second away is wasted time.
The network is a vast and complex creature, Jesse. Takes years just to realize how much you have to learn. Mastering it is the work of a lifetime.
Harry?
Mr. Everest, is everything all right?
Well, I hope so. Harry, you know we need a new vice president of development.
And you've come to warn us to expect a flood of resumes. Last time a job like this opened up, 4 mailboys got hernias.
Well, actually, we're not going to be reading resumes this time. You know, I need someone who's got their finger on the pulse of the youth culture, yet at the same time instinctively understands the medium.
I'll do anything I can to help, sir.
Good. Because I feel really bad taking such a bright young assistant away from you. How would you like to be the new vice president of development?
Mansect. What is that? Look, I don't think being half man, half moth really gives the guy that many special powers. No, I don't care if it is Greg Evigan. Okay, lunch at Laguerre, you got it. Bye-bye. Mandy, how goes the medical biz, huh?
Let's talk while we eat. I'm starving.
Sorry, no time. Didn't my girl call your girl?
I don't have a girl.
You should get one. They're great. Look at this mess, huh? I got Botchko at 1, Spelling at 2, Pauly Shore at 3.
Aren't you forgetting someone?
Chad Everett, 2:30.
I'm talking about your father. You're supposed to be with him today.
Mandy, I can catch salmon any day of the week. How often do I get to spend my vacation programming a network?
Like father, like son.
My father didn't program a network.
No, but he always found a good excuse for not seeing you, and I bet you promised that you'd never be the same way.
This is different. Amanda.
Derek, my buddy.
It's Jesse.
Oh, my good friend. Do I have a script for you?
1 minute, go.
I like to call it Dr. Danger. He listens to their hearts with a stethoscope. He answers their cry for vengeance with his 357.
It needs work.
What kind of work?
Well, I see Dr. Danger as a young resident, witty, charming, irresistible to the chicks.
What about the doctor and his son, the cop?
Huh, what about them?
Mail.
You know, Harry, why don't you just put the scripts on the floor there and put the mail in my girl's basket outside?
I'd like to talk to you.
You know, I'd love to talk to you, Harry, but right now I'm in the middle of a pitch, so I got a 5-minute window at 4.
That's it.
What is it with mailmen?
You're like all the rest. You all start in my mailroom. You all go to the top. And did any of you ever bring me with you?
Harry, I've had this job for 3 hours. I mean, give me a chance.
I've been here 30 years waiting to be noticed, stuck in that windowless pit. You've been here 2 days. 2 days. You've got VP stripes in a corner office.
Hold it, Harry. Just what I thought. You taught Rachel everything you knew, thinking she'd get you out of that mailroom. When she didn't, then you pinned your hopes on Paige.
I did everything I could for her.
You bugged all the officers to give her the dirt she needed to get ahead. You even had Rachel removed by faking the faxes to Jackson Burley so he'd dramatize her secret.
So his promotion, it was just a trick?
I'm afraid so. I figured if we promoted somebody with no experience and no talent, you'd crack.
Man, thanks a lot.
Put the gun down, Harry.
I hate television.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
So how did you know it was him?
Well, whoever bugged the executive suite and intercepted all of Rachel's faxes had to be somebody who had access to every office. And that was just Harry. And working with him in the mailroom were the only connection between Rachel and Paige.
Brilliant. You think that was good? Wait till you see next week's episode. I call it Dr. Danger.
Jesse, I didn't mean to say you didn't have any talent.
It's okay. So you want to see my fall lineup? I call it Welcome Home.
He knew about my secret past as a call girl, my affair with his brother, and the forged checks. I had to kill him, Doctor.
Well, you would have gotten away with it, too. If only you hadn't polished your fingernails. Read her her rights. Oh, make sure that she gets one of these pills 3 times daily.
It'll never work.